Hello, good morning. Welcome to We Are Your Them. I am we. That's me. Today we're going to be going over a video that was put out 4 years ago. It's called An Evidence-Based Approach to Understanding Transgender. And the channel is ICANN School of Medicine, and I think it's part of Mount Sinai Hospital. And the man speaking is Joshua Safer, MD. So this was recorded on August 7th, 2018, the video we're watching. I'm recording me giving my opinion of it on August 6th, 2023. So let's go ahead and get started. He says some really interesting things, and I'm only going to play a part of the video because the first part that I'm going to start at, I've been hearing the other activists talking about how when the gays and lesbians got their rights to marry and all that stuff, they moved right on to, well, I guess it went from HIV, then they fought for the gay rights, and then they went right into gender care. And he says it right here.
We have a little piece of that right here at Sinai in the sense that our medical and mental health pieces and some of our relationships for our transgender program are still actually attached to Institute of Advanced Medicine, our big LGBT center, which it has its origins as an HIV center, and that connection, therefore, is very much part of our experience here at Sinai.
You see, I'm hearing that that's the activists, when they got all the rights for gay and lesbian people, they needed something else to fight for because they get a lot of grant money and funding. Not to mention how much the medical industry is going to make off all these kids.
In any case, what is it that's causing us to change our thought process and within conventional medicine? And part of it is that part of it's from society at large is the change among us in conventional medicine. I think we have to be cognizant of the fact of the impact that we are having on this whole conversation. We've had celebrities come out as transgender in the past. So it's not Caitlyn Jenner. She's helpful, but we've done this in the 70s. We did this in the 50s. It's not like it never happened. And what is different this time around that I can see, there are multiple differences, but one of the biggies is really us. The establishment medical community has changed our view towards this subject and is not pushing these people away and saying, oh yeah, this is some freak circumstance. And here's some of the logic for why I think that's happening. I have up here potential factors determining gender identity. Environment, meaning you're listening to what your parents are told you.
Those are your parents. A mother, a woman that birthed you out of her body. She has a big part in this game. I cannot believe these doctors. I cannot believe them. You know, I have a son that's been having an ear issue for 5 years. People can get a complete sex change and be the opposite sex in 5 years. Where are all the doctors? I'm on the chronic pain boards. I hear about veterans. They can't even get pain medication from wounds they got in the war. But in Texas, they have a transgender army hospital. They're throwing the rest of the people away and only focusing on the transgendered people. And I feel like it's going more towards the trans children because that's where the big money is going to be for these people. When all these kids grow up, all that medical care they're going to need their whole lives, all the drugs. And there is no help for detransitioning, I'm finding out. That part they're on their own. And I know how that is because you go to the doctors, they can't figure out what's wrong. They just, send you on your way. You're sent home expected just to figure it out on your own. They're there how to figure out how to mess everything up, with these kids.
A societal construct, passive response to anatomy, which I think is what I would believe. That is, you look down between your legs, you saw what you've got there, and you've pretty much been living that life ever since.
That's how all of our ancestors have lived since the beginning of time.
But there is this real paradigm shift over the past 10, 15 years where we have really moved to thinking that there must be at least a substantial biological underpinning to gender identity. And I'm just going to go over the categories. So some of you will know this, but those of you, I want to arm you, I guess, so that if you don't know it, you should know it. And if you do know it, I want you to know how you're presenting this to our medical and scientific colleagues out there, and understanding then too where some other gaps in terms of our understanding may lie. I kind of divide things into 4 categories, and they're in the order of what I think they are and how much they convince me.
Okay. So this is all the stuff that convinced him. I'm going to see if it can convince me as a mother and a woman.
Attempts to manipulate gender identity, and really the context there is for intersex individuals, where because we knew, and those are air quotes for those of you sitting in the back, because we knew that gender identity was something that could be manipulated externally and was passive in one of those 3 ways. We knew that what we could do with somebody with an ambiguous genitalia is the surgery that would prove most convenient for that kid, most convenient from a perspective of the surgeon, I guess, in terms of a good functional result for the kid. And those surgeries heavily then were vaginoplasties, creating female genitalia, but it's okay, because even if you have an XY individual who you would predict, in retrospect, would have male gender identity, you don't care, because you know that you can manipulate that gender identity externally.
Okay, there you have it right there. They don't really care what's going on. They're just messing around playing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type stuff. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm hearing this. He talks about brainwashing too. It's coming up.
And we even had a big program doing that. So we would walk around. I remember my training, and others who are appropriate ages will remember similarly peds endo, where we walked down the hall and we had kids with ambiguous genitalia, and we would kind of gather. Well, I was a medical student, so they would gather, and I'd be standing behind them, and they would discuss what the gender identity, what we should do, we're going to declare that kid a clean, nice story, so that the parents would have no ambiguity. I'm from Wisconsin. I went to the University of Wisconsin-Madison, nice liberal city. So we were so liberal that we actually included the parents in the decision.
I feel like he's trying to make it like, well, the parents are included, so they made the choice. It's really hard when you're in with a doctor and your child is having issues and you don't know what to do. So they're thinking, well, the doctors must know better. Well, I'm here to tell you that is not always the case.
But nonetheless, the program then was to do those surgeries when the kid's a baby, so the kid will never know. And then you basically raise the kid very stereotypically. So for a girl, she can wear pink. You hand her a Barbie doll. That's really very effective.
Now, this part here bugged me too. Apparently, they're all pushing this non-binary. Don't be pushing your kid to be one gender or the next. But when this thing was started, that's exactly what he was doing. They're going to make this child into a girl. Give her toys. Give her dolls. Give her pink. Make her a total girl. And then wait till you hear what they do.
And then later, around junior high, you give her the necessary hormones in order to have female puberty. And you tell her medical history when she turns 18. So
I think that is a lot to hit a child in the face with when they're 18 years old after they've been living their whole lives as a girl. Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday, son. You were really a girl. Well, I wouldn't go that way. Happy birthday, daughter. You were really a son. I understand these kids had ambiguous genitalia, so the doctors are trying to figure out something. Well, they should have just left it all alone and let the kid decide when the kid's an actual adult. Just like today. If the kid wants to be transgender, make them wait till they're an adult. My God, when I was in 3rd grade, I wanted to be Laverne from Laverne and Shirley and have one of my little friends be Shirley. Oh my gosh.
Lots and lots of opportunity for brainwashing.
Oh, there we go. I'm going to rewind that a little. Lots of opportunities for brainwashing your kid when you're changing their sex.
You can wear pink. You hand her a Barbie doll. That's really very effective. And then later, around junior high, you give her the necessary hormones in order to have female puberty. And you tell her medical history when she turns 18. So you have lots and lots of opportunity for brainwashing. So here we are.
You're going to brainwash the kid their whole life just to turn their world upside down. That is bad advice. That's the brainwashing I was telling you about. You know, they want to take children away from parents because parents don't agree with this mutilating new narrative that they like so much here. They'll take your kids away. Don't give the doctor so much power over your children. They don't all know everything.
So the classic.
They're in it to make money. Bottom line, money. I know the girl I had on my last video. She says, "Oh, we're not in it for the money. I get the same as if I do a sex change operation, as if I do, you know, whatever else she would do." She's a gynecologist, so maybe she delivers babies too. Maybe she could just give them their sex change right when they come out. I forgot what I was going to say. I get so mad watching this. Oh, she said that they're not in it for the money, that she doesn't do it for the money. She makes no more money than if she, you know, just did any other normal doctor thing. Well, I don't even know. I don't know what to say about that, but I can tell you that Big Pharma is making a lot of money. Hospitals are making money. Surgeons are making money. Maternity hospitals are closing down. It just does not. I mean, it's like these people have no life experience. This guy's probably closer to my age, but a lot of these other gender doctors I'm watching, they're in their early 20s, psychologists, psychology. What on earth could they possibly know about life besides they trans themselves, which to me is an issue. If you're going to a psychologist that is a transgendered, I think you should think about going to a different psychologist because they're not even stable to know what they are. And they're all kinds of gender drugs, and I don't know what those do to people, but
study on the subject, really, which won't be, we won't do this again because everything has kind of shifted, but the classic study is life, I guess, and it's really a series within life in this paradigm. There are multiple little case series like this. This is kind of the best one from my perspective that I'm highlighting, where 16 XY individuals with cloacal exstrophy, don't have to get too granular there. Bottom line is a lot of congenital malformations require a lot of GI and GU surgery. A big center for this was Johns Hopkins, and those surgeons did a whole bunch of these, and at some juncture they had 16 XYs. They also had XXs who had the surgery, but that's not the point of this particular story. So it's the XYs. And everybody's just being raised as a girl because there's so much surgery there that they're just going to do vaginoplasty and then various cool things, actually, with the GI tract. The kids keep coming back in follow-up year after year after year, even if they've traveled because the surgery is so involved.
There you go. They're at least coming back year after year after year.
And what ended up happening is that at one juncture, 4 of these kids spontaneously and at around junior high said that they're boys, even though they were walking around with their Barbies. They had the sign that said girl, right, like that. They were dressed in pink. They were all named Sally or Sue, and and still they announced it. And so these guys did the study to their credit.
Oh shoot! I didn't do that.
And the end of it was this. Every single kid who knew his medical history as of the time they wrote their paper, and they got a New England Journal paper out of this, pretty cool. Every single kid who knew his medical history as of the time they wrote their paper was saying he was a boy. They were left with 5 kids who still didn't know their medical history, who were living as girls as of the time they wrote the paper. There are other little case series out there. It's not absolute. You can brainwash some people about things, you know, just at our federal government.
Obviously.
But on a population basis, you can't. There's something ingrained there.
I believe we have been brainwashed and gaslit that this is okay. The next part of his talk, he's talking about twins and stuff like that, and I haven't got much further. But I wanted you to hear that part. This is what the doctors say when they're training other doctors. They kind of think that parents are just brainwashing their kids from birth, that they're what's between their legs. And that's not okay. But them, the doctors, They can go in and do whole vaginoplasty and tell the parents to brainwash their kid till they're 18 years old and then slam them in the face with the truth. No, these people are causing more mental health problems in this country, in my opinion. So on that note, I'm going to sign off, and thanks for sticking around and watching my videos. Hopefully they'll get better and better as I'm learning how to do this. I just feel like I just want to, talk about it. I just want to get it out and say, yes, look, it's happening. It's been happening. I just had no idea. And I think a lot of other people do not have any ideas either. But us mothers, we need to unite against this. That's what it's just come to. The men can't protect us in this instance, I guess. I don't know what it's going to take, but I think enough of us mothers start standing up to this stuff and it'll be put a stop to. But I know that you're scared to even tell anybody because you can lose your job and then you don't have any income and you lose your house. I mean, they've got everybody right under their thumb where they want them. And now people will, it makes what the Mayans did. I'm like, well, I don't really think that is that much different than this. They're killing their future. They can't have children. I can imagine running around the drag club, and story time can only be fun for so long. And then you kind of want to settle down and enjoy life. And I don't know. I guess they can do that with another trans person, but that's neither here nor there. Those are adults. We're talking about little kids that have their whole lives to look forward to. And this should not be done to them. It should not. So, yeah, I don't know who my next video is going to be about. I'm finding so many interesting people on all these old videos. So, please hit the like. If you've made it this far, hit the like. My goodness. And, yeah, I'll just see you on my next video. Bye.